Zulum backs Southern governors on power shift. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has re-echoed calls for power to shift to the southern part of the country, backing the Southern Governors Forum resolution on the zoning of presidential seat in 2023. The Southern Governors had, during a meeting in Lagos on Monday, agreed that the region should produce Nigeria's next president based on the principles of equity and fairness, an assertion Zulum also corroborated. I have said it times without number that I, Professor Babagana Zulum, I am of the view that the presidency should go to the south in the year 2023 because the unity of our country is very important, the governor said during an interview on Channels Television Sunrise Daily on Wednesday. Secondly, inclusivity is very important. Thirdly, I am in the APC. 6 or 7 years ago, APC had zoned the presidency to northern Nigeria based on the agreement that in the year 2023, the presidency should go to the south. So this just definitely goes to prove that no matter what Nigerians do or the votes that are going to be, casted, the control is still within the powers that be to make sure or make certain that whoever is meant to win will win, depending on who that benefits, basically, in simple terms. Because I think we've overstressed the presidency going to the southern region, particularly the southeastern region, on the basis of equity and fairness, when really what it is giving each region a fair chance to lead a kleptocratic government where embezzlement of funds would be equally be a crime committed by each region in the country. That is basically what it is, because I'm so baffled as to how the standard of you being a president is based on where you're from. I'm like, we might as well separate, because again, if we're thinking like this, it definitely shows that each region definitely wants to be a dominant power, and this switching and this rotating, this rota is just not working. We might as well just separate if this is the aim, because again, are you going to say if you find somebody from the north that is eloquent, that can speak good English, has the best experience, and has a good background, and is very good in terms of, for example, let's say there's a presidential debate, and then we see the skills this person has to comprehend and speak and carry himself or herself, and the platform that they're using, and they're northern, are you then going to say you're not going to vote for them? Because the person from the south could either be from the APC or PDP, who has which those parties have a history of embezzling funds and being corrupt. So then just because it's fair, then they're going to be president. I think at this point, it's just very childish. Why are we stressing that the presidency had to be from this place or that place? It really doesn't have to be. Again, even in the southeast region, at least, the chunk of them want to separate anyway, because we need to keep the energy the same. So then if we have a southeastern governor or a governor from the south, a president from the south, and the president is not up to par or is not doing their job, are you going to be like, well, he's ego, so it's fair that he should be there? What? That does not make sense at all. And I'm not even sure this Babagana Zulum, what professor in what? I'm like, I saw the title professor, I was like, professor in what? You can corroborate whatever, but let's be guided. But then at the end of the day, I might have just said all this, but the fact really truly remains, whoever is going to be president, it will be decided by the powers that be and not by voting. Except Nigerians do something very different, because all this while, I am not sure we can have records to prove why the presidents in the past deserve to be president. I'm just saying, cool. Someone here says, the stand of Governor Zulum on zoning the next Nigeria's president to south reminds me of what was written on his t-shirt recently, which says Nigerians need a better life. Indeed, he's a good man from the north. Another person says, Sir, be preparing after 8 years from South. We will support you massively. This country needs leaders like you. Your working in Borno State is speaking loudly, irrespective of situation. There, you're the man of the people. I guess that's good. Everyone is out here celebrating this man, which of course is their prerogative, absolutely. But I'm not sure on equity and fairness. I'm like, this is what we've come to. This is literally what we've come to, but that's it. Someone says, if what the southern governors are looking to take away from the table is just a southern presidency, then they do not know what they're doing. Thank you. What is a presidential tenure compared to the grand scheme of things? Southerners are known for not being able to see beyond their short noses. What? I hope it won't be the case this time. Okay, now the first half was good. Second half, you just plummeted it down. Again, it's like, if you just want a southern presidency, what does that prove? Because does that mean then you'd be content with corruption continuing just because the president is from the south? And then your lips would then be sealed to actually call out the government on what is wrong just because, oh yes, they've given the seat of presidency to one of our own. Huh? Where are our standards, please? Because I don't like, because it's scary, because then if this is the mentality, then why do we even need to vote at this point? What's the point? What's the point of us having a choice if the choices there are all calculated to benefit the ones that wants to benefit from whatever, despite the votes? I'm just so confused. Like, it really should not be. And like, why? Nah, this is wrong. People are calling for rotation because things are not working. The country is governed the way it should be. I don't think it will bother anyone where the president is coming from. I mean, yes, I understand the frustration, is a lot. And again, Nigeria's desperation for things to get better, because we really do desperately need things to get better. I understand you'd go for any option, but I'm scared that we're not looking at competence, but where the person is from. Because this is based on equity and fairness. Fair that what? Fair that this region will have a chance to steal more money? Exactly. So I'm like, okay, fine. But then the rotation, this just feels a tribalism that we don't like to talk about, or we say, exists. Because it does, but then it's like, we're talking a precedent. Like, we're not talking about one local government chairman, even though, yes, that is also like a valid role to play, because the things that they do and the power that they have. But I'm like, so the standard in which we're going to choose a president is because of where they're from. That's it. Because I'm now like, okay, so now because of Buhari now, Nigerians will not pick somebody from the north, despite the fact that they may be sufficient in terms of their skill and what they can bring to the table and their experience. Because it seems like this is the case. What do I know? Put what you think about it, and don't forget to like and subscribe.